going to go ahead and get started. I think all of you on the call know who I am. My name is Rose Mapen. I'm the director of the Pennsylvania Association in Bed and Breakfast. Thank you for joining today's session on current trends in the hospitality linens. With us today is John and Lorinda Taylor, who took ownership of InStyle in 2017. InStyle is a wholesale fine linen supplier for vacation rental, bed and breakfast, hotels, and many other types of customers. InStyle is located in Perkasie, Pennsylvania, and it began in 1952. And as I said, John and Lorinda took ownership in 2017. Since their beginning of the ownership, I have been working with the former owners of InStyle to be, members of PABI. And they never would. They would only be a member of the National Association. So I would have the opportunity to meet John and Lorinda. When was that? 2018, and I forget where we were at. We were at the National Bed and Breakfast.
It was one of the national shows.
Maybe. Yeah, and we were sat at the table for a state association breakfast, and they were thrilled. They were like, oh my gosh, we got to belong to PABI. We're in your backyard. And it was music to my ears. So we greatly appreciate their sponsorship. They're very strong supporters of PABI. So with that, thank you again for doing the webinar. And I'm going to turn it over to Lorinda and John to tell you everything that's been happening in the linen world.
Thanks, Rose. So yeah, as Rose said, we met her, I do believe it was 2018. And being that we're from Pennsylvania, we just felt really compelled to support the organization. And Rose has been great to work with, and we're just happy to be part of the organization. With that all being said, the last year has been challenging, crazy, a lot of terms to describe it, but what we're going to put together and present to you today is information we've gotten from suppliers, our customers, and basically just looking at the buying patterns that we've seen over the last year. And there have been some significant changes from previous years. With that, and additionally, the one thing that we have noticed is that cleanliness and hygiene is becoming ultra important to our customers. But let's step back a second. Why is any of this important? And I also want to say, what we present here does not a mandate that this is how things have to go in the Airbnb industry. These are just patterns that we're seeing throughout. Do you want to go get him? I'm sorry, our dog he's creating issues. But at any rate, so one of the things that I always talk about is the 3 R's that are critical to any business in hospitality, and that's reviews, repeat business, and referrals. I've actually we were actually stayed at a place, vacation rental in the Poconos last summer, and when we went, it was a really nice house, a great location. The property manager was a customer of ours. But the particular sheets and towels in this unit were purchased by the owner. When we went to sleep that night, the sheets were horrible. When I went to get a shower the next morning, the towel was like a postage stamp. So it was, and if I had just been any customer, I probably would have put a horrible review out there for that property, for that simple reason alone. Now, being that the property manager was a good customer of ours, I just called him up and I said, hey, I just want to make you aware of this experience that we had at one of your properties. And I'm doing it not to try to sell you something, but just because you're a good customer and I want to help you out to understand that, a review is critical. A negative review can kill you. So, I'm not going to recommend that house, at least given the current linen situation, to somebody that I know and like. I'm just not going to do it, and I'm not going to go back to that house until they change their linen. So those are the things that I'm always looking at, is these 3 R's. What we're seeing in the last year, it's been kind of interesting, is a change in what people have actually been purchasing from us. And that's one of the things that I want to talk about today. But before we do, I want to talk about antimicrobial, because that's a term that some of you may know, you may be hearing a lot. We're not seeing a ton of antimicrobial products being purchased. We are seeing some, but we're seeing suppliers provide more and more of these antimicrobial products. And what antimicrobial, and they're made in different ways. In some cases, it's a topical application on the product. And in other cases, it's actually infused into the threads. There's zinc and copper oxides are actually used on these products, but what we're seeing even more in our industry is silver ions is what's used. Silver is the main thing. And it's interesting because antimicrobial products have been used in the medical industry for a number of years, but it's never really hit hospitality until COVID hit. And now suppliers are coming out with these products. We're seeing towels and sheets and whatnot. And antimicrobial products, they don't, what they do is they don't allow bacteria to grow on the surface that they're on. And in some cases, they'll actually kill bacteria. So that is the value of antimicrobial. With that being said, if you're looking to get into an antimicrobial, there's certain things you kind of want to look for. One of the main things is how it's actually infused or applied to the product. You don't want it to leach out. So as an example, wrinkle-free sheets or wrinkle-resistant sheets. A lot of times with those types of sheets, the application to make them wrinkle-resistant and wrinkle-free it's a topical application, and over time it'll leach out, and you will basically you'll lose the impact of what it's there for. Yeah. So ultimately, those are the things that you kind of want to look for with antimicrobial. Is it going to bleach out? You know, is it going to cost you a lot more? It shouldn't cost you a lot more to get an antimicrobial product. We have a towel that we sell, and I think it maybe went up 50 cents. They came out with antimicrobial version of that towel, and it went up like 50 cents for the towel. So you don't want to spend a lot of extra money for the antimicrobial, and you shouldn't need to. With that all being said, I don't really, I don't want to harp on it too much because, like I said, we're not seeing a ton of people buying it, but it's just something that we're seeing being presented in the industry by our suppliers. And it's just starting to take off. And I don't know how far that's going to go, but it is something that people should be aware of. Other thing that we've seen in the last year is we've been selling, I don't know if you can see these, a lot of something like this, something like this. Something like, you probably can't see it. It's basically sanitizing wipes and masks. And
this is a
I'm getting into it.
toilet seat band.
Yeah.
You've seen those like put it on your toilet after you've sanitized it. People know it's been cleaned.
Yeah. And this is actually a remote control wrap. These are things that I never thought we'd ever be selling, quite frankly, but there has been a demand for them, so we've provided them. It's what it says is, and these things are dirt cheap. These bands are pennies, and all it's doing is it's providing customers with a, hey, we've cleaned this, we care about it, and it's kind of a reassurance to that customer that they're coming into a clean place. Because, as I said originally, hygiene and cleanliness are becoming basically the highest priority for travelers in a lot of cases. And while I'm on that topic, I just want to say, I think that the inn and the B&B industry is positioned really well to moving forward. I see that as a really encouraging thing because people are not staying as much in the big hotels. They prefer a smaller place to stay. And I think we're all in a real good position moving forward. But while that being said, they do really care about the cleanliness. It's something that we, you know, when talking to our customers and talking to people when we're out and about, we actually have visited in the last year, we've actually visited a number of inns as we've traveled around to different places. And that's something that's just really important. So we're kind of seeing that as a big deal. Just it's perception's reality with customers. So if they perceive that it's really clean, that's what you want. And these little items like this, they don't cost you hardly anything, but it's just a way of saying, hey, this is clean. That's all it is. I'm not saying you have to get them, but these are the kinds of things that people are actually looking for. You know,
I saw a review yesterday. I was looking, and the review was horrible. It was like a 1-star review on a property that looked absolutely beautiful to me, and it was all about, the cups weren't clean, they didn't see anyone cleaning, and that was what they gave a 1-star review. And I thought, oh boy, that's really serious.
it's a big deal. The other thing so in the last year, one of the big things we've also seen is the sale of encasements and protectors skyrocket. So when I talk about encasements, I'm talking about a mattress encasement. Historically, it was always a mattress encasement was good against bed bugs. And the thing
Still good against
it's still good against bed bugs. And the thing that's really important about the encasement is it fully goes around a mattress and protects the mattress. A lot of people don't realize that if a mattress is probably the biggest investment you're going to make on your bed. And we sell Sealy mattresses. They usually come with 10-year warranties. However, if there's a stain on that mattress, the warranty gets voided. So that's something that you always want to protect your mattresses from. One of the things that, so we've seen a lot of people with COVID and concerns like that is to get an encasement for their mattress. The other thing that's really important about that is that you want to top it with a protector. And the reason I say that is a mattress protector or pad, it slips on like a fitted sheet. Okay. You don't, with the actual encasement, you don't want to have to launder that in any way, shape, or form, because to get it on and off the bed is really a painful experience. I mean, you almost want 2 people. It's just really annoying.
Yeah.
So
king size bed. Ooh.
yeah, it's tough. So what we propose is to get a mattress protector, which actually fits on. It's also waterproof in most cases. It'll protect against bed bugs. It'll protect against microorganisms, and it's easy to get off the bed and wash. So those are the 2 things we've seen. The sales for those 2 items have, like, since COVID hit, I was amazed, because when COVID hit, our sales were pretty much just like everyone else. There was nobody buying anything. When things started opening up again, we started seeing just a huge increase in these 2 products. It's just a trend that we saw, and it's continued into this year. So it's just one of those things that I think it goes to the cleanliness and just the security of knowing that COVID isn't getting into the mattress. They're still covered for bed bugs, for mites, and all those types of things. And
well, you think about it, if you're sleeping on a mattress that doesn't have an encasement, and you're thinking, well, who was here before me? And if the sheet slips off, ew, right?
yeah, so it's ironic because I don't really like to stay in hotels as much, but if we're kind of just doing a quick travel and I'm not sure where I'm going to stop for the night, it's kind of as far as I can go, I will stop in just kind of a generic hotel, a Hampton Inn or something like that. And the last 2 times, the sheet that was on the bed actually pulled off the corner. You know, you wake up in the middle of the night and the sheet's off the corner and there's a bare mattress, and I'm thinking to myself, this is horrible, because if I did this, probably other people did this. What's on that mattress? That mattress isn't protected. It's just not a good scenario. Anyway, and along with that is pillow protectors. It's the same type of thing. They're washable. They'll increase the life of the pillow. And they're just really good from a protecting standpoint. If you think about it, that's where people actually put their head. So their mouth, their germs, all that type of stuff is getting out there. So we've seen just a huge increase in the sales of that. The other thing that's become kind of important and is from both an economic standpoint and from a COVID standpoint is laundering. Laundering, it seems like there's more laundering. It's interesting. I never really realized this, but with some of the big comforters, and the people would not launder their comforters sometimes between people's stay. It's kind of a scary thought, but that's just because they're heavy and they're bulky. and they're just, they're just a lot to launder. But what we're seeing is that 52% are washing bed coverings more frequently, but they're also changing the bed coverings that they're using. We're seeing a lot more triple sheeting and duvet covers moving forward, and a lot less of the heavy comforters, the quilts, things like that, because of the laundering, because of the need to launder more frequently. We're also seeing, and I'll get a little bit more into the triple sheeting and the duvets in a bit, but we're seeing a lot of throw pillows, shams, things like that are being used much less frequently. People are looking at, they're going with a much more clean look, a lot more white.
Arrange the pillows on the bed in a fancy way instead of adding a whole bunch of, cutesy pillows,
Yeah.
because you can't trust people to actually take them off the bed when they're sleeping.
Well, and we were just at the Midwest conference. They actually had a conference in Hannibal, and after the conference, we went to St. Louis and stayed at one of our customers, and they had all these pillows on the bed, and I went to
They were so pretty, but
they were beautiful. But I went to go jump on the bed, and Lauren's like, no, we got to take them all off the bed, and and make sure. But what we're seeing is we're seeing a lot less of those. Again, what I said originally, every inn has their look and feel that makes them unique and makes people love them. And sometimes it is, maybe the comforter that's on the bed, maybe it is the pillows, maybe it is the, just that luxury feel. So these are not things that people have to do. These are just things that we're seeing people are doing to basically give that clean perception, and also to help them with laundering. Laundering's become a big deal. So we're seeing just a lot of changes to kind of get into that mode. As far as, I don't know how familiar you are with triple sheeting, and I before I get into triple sheeting, I just want to say we were at the Midwest giving a similar presentation, and one of the customers there, she was our customer actually, and so she said in the presentation, she said, you know what, I don't like triple sheeting for my inn. She goes, that's more of a hotel thing. And
I've heard that a lot.
and I've heard that, and we have heard that from other people, so, and a lot of them will use the duvet covers, but at the same time, we have had a lot of people switching to triple sheeting, just because it's much easier with that light top of the bed to wash and to launder. So we're seeing a lot of that. And it is a little easier to work with than the duvet cover, because with duvets, the insert can be a little more challenging. It can be, depending on what kind of insert you get and whatnot, it can be a little more challenging for somebody from housekeeping to actually get that insert into the duvet cover. And basically, that's just time and money for the housekeeping staff. So triple sheeting may be a little easier, but at the same time, with the inn industry and the B&Bs, I think I would say duvet covers is still the most popular solution, but we're seeing people that have had, again, comforters and heavy quilts go to duvet covers. And the nice thing about duvet covers is, you can change the cover. You can change the insert depending on the season. There's just a lot of different options you have. It is easy to launder.
And they really look nice on the bed.
Yeah, they do.
How many of you guys use duvets versus triple sheeting? Who uses duvets? Nobody? Triple sheeting? Nobody? Everybody uses comforters and coverlets?
How do you,
Okay.
how are you, I mean, is it?
We
from a laundry-
use
ahead.
duvets. We use duvet covers. Sorry, I just didn't get unmuted quickly enough.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you
Because
find,
of that reason, because we didn't want to have to wash comforters time after time and after every guest and all that. So
Right. Yeah.
I've started just having a blanket, which is like a top sheet or a just a blanket, and I wash the blanket every time now. And then I provide a separate blanket if they're not warm enough in a plastic case. And I tell them if they would like, if they're not warm enough, to go ahead and use the blanket that's in there. But then if it's not used, then it's one less thing to wash. So that's been working pretty well for me. Most of the people that stay here seem to be pretty warm, but every once in a while you get a cold person.
That's her. She's that cold person.
That's what I've heard that too, about keeping an extra blanket in a plastic, encased in the closet or whatever. And yeah, I'm that person who takes it out. Sorry.
It's so good.
I'm
What's
that
the-
person too, so don't feel bad because I. So
What is everybody else doing? Is anybody using comforters still? I mean, are they comfortable with using comforters? Are the washing, is it just not a big deal, or?
Or do you make sure like you turn it down?
This is Rose. If everyone's welcome to unmute, we have a small group. So, again, we'd like to try to make it interactive. So you can go ahead and unmute and jump in when everything's, because we only have 8 people on the call. So it's pretty easy for people to unmute and communicate. So.
Yeah, and we're always looking to, the more information we can get on these types of things, we're just really happy to hear what different people are doing. It just adds to the amount of data, if you will, that we get, and also just from a stocking standpoint. So
I'm always amazed at the creativity of innkeepers to come up with solutions. I met somebody in Missouri who like redid her whole top cover, sewed it herself just to make it the size that she wanted. I was like, wow, it's creativity. It's great.
yeah, and one of the things, and I don't want to get into it too much, but one of the things that we're seeing is there's major supply chain issues right now. So we've actually, we've been hanging in there and been able to provide most of our customers, at least with the products they want or alternatives, but it's really been challenging. Not all, but most textiles are imported. And it's just, it's interesting. I went to the Lowe's, actually. We're looking at a new appliance for our kitchen. And they were like, yeah, it's going to be 2 to 3 months for most of the refrigerators, and it's, every time I turn around, it seems like, doesn't matter the industry, stuff is back ordered and things
Till
like.
June.
Yeah,
There's going to be a major pile up in the ports. in
So
June.
with our suppliers, I think what happened, and these are, I mean, big companies, solid companies that have been doing this for many, 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 many years. And what we're hearing from them is that, they, with COVID, they didn't know what to expect. They just didn't know. And they were very conservative in their approach towards this spring. And it kind of bit them, because things have started to open up. People are wanting to travel, and we're seeing it with orders come in kind of at a record pace right now, and which is great. But getting the products to people on time has been a big challenge for us. And we're hearing from our suppliers, a lot of them, late May, early June, that's not good enough for our customers in a lot of cases. So we have gone to whatever length we can to provide products. It's amazing how we'll get products in, and within a day or two, they're gone, just like that. So all I would encourage any of you is that just be real proactive in that area. If you need something, don't wait. Wherever you're getting your stuff from, just don't wait, because it's like, we'll call a supplier and they'll say, yeah, we've got plenty of inventory in this particular product. We'll take an order. 2 days later, we're calling them to put that order in, and
It's gone.
the inventory's gone. It's just been absolutely nuts. So but that'll level out over time. I mean, I think a lot of suppliers just kind of got caught with their pants down, so to speak, and we did too a little bit. I wish I'd have seen a little more of this coming, but it is what it is. But at the same time, just be proactive in your planning and whatnot. I would encourage you to do that. The other thing, just real quick with the towels, the one thing we're seeing is I love a nice, heavy, thick towel. They're really great. But we are seeing people go with lighter towels. And the key there is just to make sure that they're absorbent and they dry people well. But we're just seeing people go with lighter towels just so that the laundering burden is less and it's more economical. All right, any questions you guys have? That's pretty much, I just kind of that's kind of what we're seeing in the industry. Does anybody have any questions, comments, thoughts?
I have a question.
Sure.
Do you have a catalog?
So we don't have this hard copy, but you can go to our website, which is www.innstyle. That's INNSTYLE.com.
Wait,
I'll put it in the chat.
okay.
And what I'll tell you is if you go there and if you don't have an account with this, or you'll see retail prices, but as innkeepers, you will get wholesale prices. If you sign up for an account and you say you're a B&B and you give the name, we'll basically just flip you over so you can see wholesale pricing. But don't be alarmed by the pricing that you see there when you first go there, because it is retail pricing.
This is Rose, sorry, Jay, when I send out the recording to everybody, I will include InStyle's website and John and Lorenda's email and phone number to call as well.
Yep.
Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, I have a kind of a different question, perhaps unrelated, but coming from the medical world, I was wondering, you used the term antimicrobial.
Mm-hmm.
Antimicrobial typically will be the one who kills the cell, I mean the bacteria
Mm-hmm.
or the viruses, and the terms could be bacteriostatic. That means that will stop the growth of the bacteria, and bactericidal will be a term which means that it will kill the bacteria. So it's probably a mute point, but and it's been recent, I believe, that they're using antimicrobial in linen industry. Is that correct?
Yeah. We're just seeing, I'd say, several products. Mostly in the towels. We're seeing
Some sheets.
Not a lot, but we are seeing it start to come into our industry. And again, I actually have looked at a couple of the different technologies that they say they're using. Some, they're infusing the silver ions directly into the polymers. I'm not a scientist, so but I assume it's actually in the manufacturing process that they're actually. And then in other cases, it seems like it's more of a topical solution that may or may not hold up over time and may leach out over time. That's what my understanding is.
Yeah, and with the COVID, pandemic, I think it's worthwhile to look into the use in this kind of safety measure.
Mhm.
Also, I was wondering what will be the duration of prolonged effect. I mean, if you wash those linens, then still it will maintain the total activity. I mean, probably some might be resistant to washing, and that's I don't know. I'm just curious.
Yeah, and that is in some cases, and it really depends again, like on how it's made, how it's applied to the product. And I think in some cases, my understanding is in one product I know that we have, it will hold up over time and it'll maintain its effectiveness. Other products, over time, it will decrease the effectiveness and leach, and that ion will leach out of the
Yeah,
product.
the products that we have right now and the ones that we're looking at are actually infused into the fabric. The silver is actually infused into the fabric. So those actually increase in effectiveness over time, over washings.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Uh,
great. I think
yeah.
it's a great tool to market your product, to sell your product. And I think if you go back to the manufacturer and if you can pick up some more information on that, I mean,
Mhm.
scientific, I think you are on a big run.
It's,
Yeah.
yeah, we do have some of that information on our website. I try to put as much as I can in the descriptions of the products, so that, because people do want to know that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks.
Sure. Absolutely.
I have a question about hand sanitizer. Do you have any recommendations about that?
We have.
So, okay. Yeah. Actually, I mean, the thing about hand sanitizer, so I got to tell a little story about the hand sanitizer. Our daughter got married last summer, and it was in Lancaster, and or the reception, or not reception, rehearsal dinner was in Lancaster, and we went into a hotel where the dinner was, and everybody had to apply sanitizer. And I think if it served the purpose of getting everyone to wash their hands, because the sanitizer was the nastiest stuff I've ever smelled or put on my hands. It was sticky, it was awful, and I was like, I'm not going up and eating with these hands. So we all ran to the bathroom to wash it off, and so our hands were washed and nice and clean. So maybe that was the point. So with the sanitizer, I mean, I think some people will have it, some people have, we have sanitizing wipes that look like this, which are really nice. But we also are seeing some people buy the little bottles, just the individual bottles. And then there's the
And put
people,
with their bathroom amenities.
yeah,
that
put it with
kind
their
of thing.
amenities. And then we also
Right.
see people with,
The bigger
the
ones,
pumps, the bigger bottle pumps at the desk. We're seeing a
Big-
lot of that.
common areas.
What I will tell you is, and I'll put a little plug in for our company. I hope that's okay, Rose. But
That's fine.
okay, when all this came down, we bought a ton of sanitizer. Just because we thought people would want it.
Well, everybody was asking for it. Nobody
Everybody
could
was
get
asking
at
for
the
it.
time.
So we got a ton of sanitizer. If you need some, we're practically giving the stuff away. We're pretty much selling it at cost, and just because we have so much of it. And ours is actually nice. It's actually smells nice. It's got it's got a nice feel to it.
A nice citrusy.
Yeah, it's a nice
Scent.
citrusy scent. It's actually pretty nice.
We also have them in,
Sanitizer?
yeah, we have the sanitizer in
No, we don't.
yeah, we do.
We do?
Yep.
I haven't seen that. Okay, well, that shows how much I know about the products. But anyway, no, it's but we are seeing people, sanitizer is definitely used. It's more commodity. I mean, that's not really what we are historically. I mean, our business is, consulting with people, giving them good advice on sheets and towels and amenities. But now, we've gotten into products just because for convenience for our customers. But sanitizers one, I think we have a warehouse full of or something. We have a ton of it left over. I'm just sitting there that we want to get rid of.
But we have the big pumps, we have the little bottles, and
Yep.
the wipes, and we do have the dispensers.
Yeah, we got all of it. So,
Okay.
but we are seeing people, but we do see, I mean, people are,
That's not going away.
the people are providing wipes and sanitizer, just the actual little bottles. I mean, they are selling or providing it to the customers, and almost every desk you go in, you see it. At least the B&Bs we've gone in, you see some level of sanitizer, just a pump bottle.
And along the same lines, we do a lot of, and have always done, high touch area wipe downs. Do you have a
Mhm.
product that you recommend? We've been using mostly bleach and something like that. Do you have something that you think is better, that smells nicer, that you sell?
We don't sell anything like that. We were selling,
We got out of that business.
we were
quick.
Okay.
literally, we were selling wipes, like the Lysol wipes, you know, and there for a while, wipes were like gold.
Yes.
Nobody could get them anywhere. And at one point, and actually, I think I have 2 or 3 rolls sitting at my desk still that,
I think you do,
that,
actually.
but the point is that it became again more commodity than anything, and you know the price was so volatile from day to day with that, and we ended up again giving some of that stuff away. Our customers were saying, get it, and then we got it, and then all of a sudden it became available, and the price dropped, and our price was too high, and you know, I mean, people were buying it for less than we bought it for because of the price volatility, and so. But with that being said, I mean, I think you know Lysol was the one, but people seemed more confident with that product as opposed to an off-brand
And I
wipe.
think it smells pretty nice, the Lysol.
Mhm.
But
the
Okay.
lemon.
that's I really don't have a lot of good advice probably for that.
Okay.
That's just what we saw.
Does anybody else out there care to share what they do in their bed and breakfast to clean high touch areas?
We had,
It's,
go ahead.
we just use the sanitary wipes that we got at Sam's Club, and then we just dry it. We don't leave it wet. Of course, we have a lot of natural wood that's exposed, not painted or
Yep.
anything. So Lysol would not work because that will remove the finish
Gotcha.
over
Yeah.
time, especially multiple uses, multiple wipes. So we found that seems to work pretty good. And like I said, we kind of wipe it and then we dry it right away. We don't leave
Okay.
it sit because we're trying to keep our wood as nice. That's one of the things people come here for, to see our beautiful woodwork. And so we certainly don't want to, you know, ruin that. So we're doing our best, and that seems to work pretty good. So, and guests have been very comfortable with what we do. We get a lot of comments, a lot of reviews talking about our COVID things we do for COVID. So our guests are very comfortable with what we're doing.
So that's a
Great.
what do you call the wipe specifically? Is there a brand you like, or?
Kathy, I think you were going to say something.
Yeah, so we, at the beginning, we were using like Lysol wipes and stuff and trying to go throughout the day and make our rounds, doing all the high touch surfaces. But then, like you said, Lysol wipes became really nearly impossible to find. And to me, we try to be really go green a bit. So the thought of throwing them all away and all the plastic containers and everything, what we ended up doing was repurposing the Lysol wipes containers, cutting up our own cloths and putting them in there with the solution of the Lysol liquid that we would buy, you know, in bigger bottles. And then you just pull one out, do your wipe down and toss it in the laundry. And
So
yeah,
that's a good idea.
it was similar
Yeah,
to
I
using
remember
the
at the
wipes,
time.
but reuse them. What's that?
I remember at the time people doing, you know, when they couldn't get them,
Yeah.
doing something similar to that, you know, just to and it was a green solution.
That's a very creative idea. I like that.
Mhm.
Thanks. Yeah, it worked for us.
There it is.
It's
Members mark.
backwards. They're just members mark disinfecting wipes,
Okay.
and they don't have the same ingredients. Says it kills 99% of bacteria, so as well as viruses. But it has different ingredients than Lysol, because there's an ingredient in Lysol that'll, like I said, if you have, you know, nicely finished wood, it'll, if you're
Don't eat it.
painted surfaces, probably not as bad, but wood, it'll wear the finish off. Definitely.
Good to know.
Thank you.
Any other questions for John and Lorinda?
Yeah, I have another question. On the sheets that you have, most sheets that you buy now, they all say don't wash in hot water. I always wash in hot water. How do you wash what your sheets?
it really, honestly, it just totally depends on the sheet.
But I wash in cold.
We still wash. I mean, I know there's a desire to wash in hot. And some of the products are fine in hot, and can withstand heat, and other products don't really like heat that much.
I mean, you're getting the heat in the dryer to kill germs and that kind of thing. So I use cold in the wash, and usually like some white vinegar in the rinse cycle to kind of keep the fibers fluffy and keep other stuff from getting in there.
But it is, I mean, and I know, I don't want to be evasive on the question, but it really does depend on the specific sheet that, you know, you
And
will
the
be,
fibers, yeah.
and the fibers of that sheet. It really does.
What kind of sheets do you use?
Well, I usually get, I usually get very 100% cotton. And,
Okay. Yeah.
and
Yep.
even, yeah, and you know, everything is not hot water, but I still
Right.
wash in hot water.
So do you find that they last longer or last at the same as what they should?
Yeah, they do. Well, I buy a lot of sheets.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
I do like, you know,
So you iron your sheets?
no, I don't iron.
Oh, don't you? So do you
No.
just take them out when they're just, like, how do you keep them from wrinkling? I'm just curious.
Well, I take them out right away and put them and either if I don't put them right on the bed, I sort of hand press.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep.
Now, some of them I have that aren't 100%, but so I have all kind.
Yeah, I know with the cotton, you know, that is a key, is getting it out of the dryer like right away. And in some cases where it's not even fully dry, I mean, it's just
Slightly damp.
like on the seams, it can be slightly damp even. And
Well,
basically,
Yeah, you get the more expensive ones. They don't really wrinkle, but but they're expensive.
yeah, we have some of those. They're great. They're great sheets. Actually, we
Yeah, but
literally just got a
I don't
container.
have that many rooms, and I haven't been taking many guests either because of the virus.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions? Well, with that, I'd like to thank everybody for joining today's presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you, John and Lorinda, for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us here today. The session is going to be recorded, so I will email that link to everybody. And when I email it to you, I will also include the contact information for John and Lorinda and the phone number.
Yeah. And just so you know, if you call, if you're not a customer, when you call, you will get your own account manager that will work with you through the entire process and make sure that you get the exact kind of product that you want. It's not just a go to the website and order. We actually want to make sure that, you know, people get samples and they get what they need.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
All right,
Thanks.
everybody
so
have a
much.
good day. All right.
All right.
Thank
Take care.
you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.